I'm Archbishop Mark Coleridge, and you are watching Q&A, question and answer for the Catholic leader. At this time of the year, we celebrate some of the great feasts of what we call our liturgical calendar. And among them are the feast days of St. John the Baptist, his birth on the 24th of June, but also one of the great feasts of the Church, the feast of Saints Peter and Paul on the 29th of June. Now, in the rush of life, with all the stuff we've got to do, the danger is that these feasts can just pass us by. We don't even know they're happening. And if so, then that's a real impoverishment on the journey of Christian faith. The question then is how, in the midst of all that we have to do, can we experience these feasts, or solemnities sometimes they're called, in a way that really does reach into our lives and that is seriously enriching. The first thing is to know that they're happening. So the 24th of June, birthday of John the Baptist, 29th of June, St. Peter and Paul, and so on. It doesn't hurt every now and again to look at the liturgical calendar, just to see the journey that we're undertaking through the year of worship. The second thing I think we have to do is to actually learn the story underlying the feast. In those two cases that I've mentioned, the story of the birth of John the Baptist, it's a fascinating story, to learn a bit about him too, and what a fascinating and haunting figure John the Baptist is. And similarly with Peter and Paul, learn the story about Peter and Paul and their interaction, the way they fought, the way they worked together. And you might even learn why we in fact celebrate the two saints on the one day. Why don't they have a feast day of their own? Why on the one day? It's an interesting question. Learn the answer. And then you'll be better poised to really enter into what the feast is all about. Having learnt the story though, what you also then have to see is that this stuff is not once upon a time. It's not way back there with John the Baptist and Peter and Paul. They are long gone, long dead, that's it, bye-bye. The fact is that these stories and these figures are also here and now. So when you look at figures like John the Baptist, in some ways he speaks a truth about you and me. He speaks a call that comes to you and me. Exactly the same with Peter and Paul. Their story is not just their story back there. It's also my story and your story here and now. So in what sense or in what way do the stories of people like John the Baptist and Saints Peter and Paul move way beyond once upon a time to become the stories of the journey of faith here and now, and therefore something that really can enrich me as I move, as they did, step by step along the path of faith and into eternity.